This week we started Unit 4, which begins with circles, and I'm going to go over the definitions and the formulas that we need to know to solve these equations for circles. The area of a circle is the area that's enclosed by the circle. This one's within inside the circle. To calculate the area, is the formula area is equal to pi times r squared. R is the radius from the center of the circle to the perimeter or the outer edge, and that could be at any point on the circle. It's the same distance. R is the same all the way from the center of the circle to the outer edge. The circumference is the distance around the circle. So that's the distance around the circle. It can be calculated as pi. Pi can be calculated as the circumference, the distance around the circle, divided by the diameter. The diameter is the distance across from one edge of the circle to the other edge, all the way across, and that's at any point. As long as it's going through the center, from outer edge to outer edge, going through the center, that's called the diameter. Okay, back to the pi. Pi is calculated by the circumference of the circle divided by the diameter, and that will always be 3.14. It's an endless number, but for this class we're using 3.14 as the value of pi, or you can use 22 divided by 7 as the value of pi. And so the area of the circle is equal to pi times r, the radius, squared. So if you know the radius, you square the radius and multiply it times 3.14. That gives you the area. To get the circumference, if you know the diameter is the distance all the way across from outer edge to outer edge through the center. It's going through the center of the circle is the diameter. So if the circumference divided by the diameter is pi. Okay, so the circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. So if you know the diameter, you take that number times 3.14, and that'll give you the circumference. Or the same way, since it's basically the same thing, if you know the radius, the distance from the center to the outer edge is the radius, you just multiply it times 2, which is the same as diameter, and then multiply that times pi. So if you have r, it's 2 pi r. If you have d, the diameter is pi times d. Okay, if you're given the diameter, what we just discussed, the diameter is 2 times r. So if you know the radius, just multiply that times 2, and it'll give you 2 radiuses equal the total of the diameter. If you know the circumference of a circle and you want to find the diameter, that is the circumference divided by pi. That gives you the diameter as well, just using the manipulation from the formulas here. The radius is equal to 1/2 of the diameter. So if you're given the diameter, you divide that by 2, and it's just half of the diameter. So I'm going to draw this on out. If this was from here to here is d, from here to here is r. You can see that. Okay,